Hi guys, it's Bethany from Madeline Jean Antiques Restoration. I was approached the other day through Instagram by a woman by the name of Paula. She asked me, how do I get my pieces so flawless when I paint them? How do I get them so smooth? So I promised her I would have a YouTube video up tonight. It's a little after 10 o'clock and I am keeping my promise. So I'm going to do a quick video on just some tips that I use that help ensure that I have a smooth surface as possible after I'm done painting. Okay, so I'm going to be painting this small, well, it's on the smaller side of an antique mirror. It's rectangular, and I'm going to be painting it a base paint of white. And then I may add some other colors later on. I'm not sure yet what direction I want to go in this piece. So I thought it would be a good demonstration piece on how to get your paint on smoothly and without brush strokes as much as possible. So I'm going to change the camera angle and then we'll start talking and get painting. Okay, so first things first, if you have long hair, get it up with painting or put it in a hair tie or get a baseball cap on. I have learned the hard way. I've had every color of paint in my hair. So get the hair up, that's my first tip. Next thing is brush selection. I really like Kling-On brushes. Now I just found this brand not too long ago. Up to this point, I've just been painting with regular, like chalk paint brushes. That's what I was ordering them on Amazon. That's what they were called. But I find now I'm in love with Kling-On brushes. They are a tad more expensive than your regular paint brushes, but they are worth the investment because I have found I have not lost one bristle in the pieces of furniture that I've been painting so far with the Kling-On brushes. They come in so many different sizes, so I would say get yourself a good painting brush. If you're having issues with brush strokes in your surface, that could be one of the reasons, okay? So start with a good paintbrush. I also always, when I have my main paintbrush, I always have a smaller detail brush on hand. I mean, I'm looking at this mirror that I'm about to look at, about to work on, and it's just got some smaller edges, so it enables me to get into those like nooks and crannies. So I always have our larger brush and a smaller brush. All right, let's get to painting. Okay guys, let's start painting. So yes, I'm dipping in a gallon of paint here. I went and got my favorite color not too long ago at Lowe's. My favorite like base color is called Crisp Linen by Valspar. She accidentally made me a gallon of paint when she should have just made me a quart, and she gave me the same. She honored the price of the quart even though she gave me a gallon. So that's why I have a huge gallon of paint. I never have a gallon of paint in my workshop, and that's why I do. So you're gonna see me paint here. Do you see my strokes, how I'm holding my brush? I'm going back and forth, back and forth. This is what a lot of people do when they paint. You're going back and forth, back and forth. You're trying to get that first layer of paint on. You wanna get ample coverage. Not too much though, you don't want drips. You would rather apply multiple coats than have drips, because once drips have dried, it's very hard to get your surface smooth again. Yes, you can sand it, but it's just a pain in the butt. So, like I said, I'm using a Kling-On brush. The size of this Kling-On brush, it's called an F40. They've got all these different weird numbers and letters, but this is the F40. And it's the flat brush. And again, you're noticing I'm going back and forth with my brush. Once I have one side of this mirror completely covered, and this is like with anything that you paint. If you paint a dresser drawer, if you are painting the top of a dresser, side of a dresser, what you're gonna wanna do is take that brush, go one side all the way down. Do you see what I'm doing here? All the way with no breaks. There, I'm done. So what that does, it's eliminating any type of brush strokes when you're going back and forth. You might have some there. You're just smoothing it out from one side to the other without stopping, okay? Once you're done there, let it be. The biggest mistake you can do is like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna add a little more paint there. I missed a little bit. Leave it be, because what's gonna happen is it's gonna start to dry, and if you start to mix with that again, start to brush it, it's gonna clump up, and that's where you're gonna get issues with it not being completely smooth. So I'm gonna keep painting. Hopefully you guys can kind of see my technique here. Again, I'm just going back and forth. I like to move pretty quickly. This is just Valspar regular paint. I didn't make chalk paint out of this. Again, I'm just using this as my base. I'm going to be layering a whole bunch of different colors on this mirror. I think that's my vision for it. And then I'll probably like sand it down a little bit to give it some dimension. Do you see what I'm doing there, you guys? Again, I'm taking my brush from one edge to the next, continuously bringing it there, and I'm leaving it be. Okay? So once I get my entire mirror painted here, you're gonna let it dry, whatever you're painting. Then what I do is in between layers of paint, again, see right here, I got a little fuzz from, looks like sawdust or something right there. I just picked it out. It's okay to pick out things when you're doing just your first layer here. After that, if it's dried, you can try picking out stuff like brush bristles. I've picked them out with like a tweezers in a needle. Not kidding you. That seems to work. Again, I'm gonna bring it one edge to the next. There we go. So in between my coats, I was trying to explain to you, I will sand. And when I say sand, don't think I'm taking an orbital sander, a belt sander, anything like that. I take 400 grit, that's super, super fine, and I'll take it across my painted surface just to, if there's anything, raised debris, dog hair, cat hair, I've got both, anything like that has gotten on the surface, I will lightly take my sandpaper. This is what I use. I have a felt block. I advise everybody get a felt block. It's great. I wrap my 400 grit sandpaper around it. This is after my paint has dried. And I just go along it in between my layers, and I just lightly feather strokes, very, very light, on areas that I see that need just some smoothing out. Now, depending on how many layers of paint you put on, 2 or 3, I do it in between each layer of paint. This is, this technique that I use usually ensures for me that I'm gonna have a really nice smooth surface when I'm done painting. And then when I add the top coat, it just looks so smooth, okay? So I hope some of these helpful hints helped you get that smooth painting surface that you're looking for. Paula, I hope this video helps you. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. If you guys have any tips how you get the smoothest surface possible when painting, I'd love to hear them. I'm always learning, trying to grow within my craft, so I like collaborating with other fellow furniture painters. Whether you do it as a side business or you're a hobbyist, I love hearing from everybody. If you have not liked and subscribed to my channel, please do so. It's off to the left, and you guys can find me at Madeline Jean Antiques and Restoration on Facebook, and I'm also on Instagram at bethany.yusef. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Hi, Paula. Hi guys, it's Bethany from Madeline Jean Antiques and Restoration.